Happy Pandemic Thursday to you. Happy Pandemic Thursday to you. Happy Pandemic Thursday to you. Stay home, stay safe, I love you. Hi guys, how are you? Happy Thursday. It's Thursday again. I don't know how that happened. It's Thursday, which means today is grocery delivery day. It also means it's dry shampoo day, among other things. I hope you guys are well and feeling good today. Hi, Miss Lori. Good morning. Facebook was being so good and showing us the live stream super quickly for like 2 weeks, and then now it's gotten slow again. Anyway, there it goes. Okay, hi. Make sure you drop your good morning, Heather. Make sure you drop your mental health number in the comments so we can just know where we are and discuss it and just be aware of what we're feeling these days. Good morning, Connie. I'm like a 6. This morning's been, I think I would be better, except that this morning's been a little bit of everything, like lots of little things going wrong. So, I've been setting my alarm clock and getting up earlier, which has been very good. So my alarm clock went off this morning and I woke up and I turned it off, and next thing I knew, it was 22 minutes later. Who's mad? Corrine, why are you mad? Anyway, yeah, it was 22 minutes later, and I don't know how that happened, and I don't know where that 22 minutes went, but apparently my body was so tired, it did not register that I went back to sleep for 22 minutes. So that kind of threw my morning off a little bit. Good morning, Lori is a 6. Christine is a 7. Hi, Karen, how are you? So that kind of pushed everything back, which was a little bit annoying, but, not a crisis. So then I came into my office and just kind of scrambled to get all my stuff going, which I think I got it all in, but then I went to start the live feed and I couldn't get my headphones to, sync at first. So, also my iPad is not charged. So if we disappear or if the sound goes out, it's because, one, maybe my AirPods aren't charged properly. I don't know. I think the cord in the living room that I was using to charge it is, how they get a kink in them sometimes if they're old. So I think that it's on its way out. So I don't think it charged properly. And then I just totally forgot to charge my iPad, which was all on me. So oops. Karen slept in today as well. Kathy's an 8. Annie's a 10. High five for a 10, girl. I love it. We've got Laura's an 8 also. Beth is a 4. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Karen's an 8. I love it. I love it. Oh, did you guys have a good hump day? What'd you do yesterday? I got in the kitchen and shot some stuff for the website. It's been a minute since I did that. You guys, I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday wasn't easy. Yesterday morning was really nice. I got a lot done in the morning. And then, in the afternoon I went in and I had to do some work in the kitchen, and gosh, with everyone home and no nanny, that is not an easy thing to do. And my 10-year-old was having an especially rough day. My 13-year-old, you guys might have seen, I put it on Instagram and I put it on Facebook, but my 13-year-old is a little bit obsessed with Bob Ross right now. So he's been doing these Bob Ross happy little mountains and happy little trees, and it's really fun. And so my 10-year-old decided that he wanted to get involved and do some too. So my 13-year-old decided to teach my 10-year-old how to do it. Well, 13-year-olds don't make the best teachers, and 10-year-olds don't make the best students. So it ended up being just an absolute screaming, crying meltdown. Super fun. While I was trying to shoot, it was all happening in the kitchen while I was trying to shoot recipes. So it was less than ideal. But then I interjected and I walked my 10-year-old through how to paint mountains and waterfall, and it ended up being fine, but it was touch and go for a minute. And then he was just really, I think he's just a little bit overwhelmed with everything, and he's not been sleeping great. He never sleeps great. Yeah, he was just real weepy yesterday. So it was a little rough yesterday, but we recovered and did okay. So Cleaned and our insurance agent came over, says Karen. Awesome. Hi, Mom. Everyone say hi, Mom. My mom's on. 2 days ago, we had 2 inches of snow. Today, woke to beautiful sunshine. That was why I'm an 8. That is a good reason to be an 8. So, Roxanne worked for 9 hours yesterday. Day goes fast when you're busy. That is true. That is very true. And I feel like my days fly. I don't feel... I have a lot of friends that are, you know, off work right now. And they're like, oh, I have so much time. And I'm like, I have no time. You know, pros and cons to both, of course. Obviously, I think they'd rather be working, and yeah. So, anyway, yeah, but we recovered. We had a long chat. So my 10-year-old was on the patio just crying that life was hard, and he's got a rough go of it. Which, I mean, life is hard for everyone. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. I think even if you're privileged, life is still hard. So, you know, and it's hard, period, right? Harder for others, for sure. Some than others, I should say. But anyway, so I dragged him out on a walk, and the weather was nice, which was great. And, so I kind of, what do you call it? Oh, yesterday I had to run through my checklist of, like, how do you get a kid out of a spiraling funk? And this applies to adults too, right? Like, and I have this little checklist I go through in my head when I start to spiral, which happens more than I like to admit. And so I did the checklist with my son, and thankfully by the end of the checklist, he was smiling and in a much better mood. I mean, it wasn't a perfect evening, but much better mood. So I'm going to go through my checklist with you guys, and you guys tell me if I'm missing anything, if I need to add anything to my checklist. So first thing is always food and water, right? Like, if you're dehydrated, that can put you in a real funk. Next thing is food. If your blood sugar's low, it can really screw you up. I know me, I just get cranky. Thank you, Lori. I feel like you guys are realizing how little clothing. It's funny because my closet is so full, but I only have a handful of actual outfits that I actually wear. I feel like you guys are getting a good dose of what my clothing cycle is. Good morning, Andrea. Anyway, so first water, then food or calories, you know. So he had already drank a lot of water. He hadn't eaten much, so I slipped him a cookie and a mini soda, like just a little bitty glass of soda. And then sunshine. He hadn't been outside almost at all, so we went outside. Exercise, like 30 minutes of exercise, or just moving, doesn't have to be exercise. So we went on a walk. We went on like about a half a mile to maybe 3/4 mile walk. And then fake smiling is a big one. So I was explaining to him, and this is no secrets, but when you make the motion of a smile, it sends signals to your brain, even if it's a fake smile, that causes your brain to release endorphins and dopamine, which actually raises your mood, even if it's a fake smile. So we did a lot of fake smiling until it turned into a real smile. And then we just talked about the things we were grateful for, and the things that were going right in our lives. So that really helped. And that's my checklist that I use for myself also. And I find it's helpful. So those are the things. If anybody is feeling funky, it is not an antidepressant. It is not going to cure anything clinical, but it helps me get out of a funk a little bit. Good morning, Miss Andrea. So what do we have here? Okay, so I got lots of questions about the kids painting yesterday. So those are the links we have in the comments, in the description, and I'll share those with you again. So the thing they're painting on is canvas boards, so it's nicer obviously than paper, but less expensive than like full-blown canvas blocks. And I like them because they're a lot easier to store, but they feel special. So the kids are allowed to use 1 or 2 a week, and then if they do more than that, they just use regular white printer paper. But these are the canvas boards that I ordered on Amazon. They're really good. I love them. I think they're, I want to say like 75 cents a board if I'm not mistaken. Maybe $1 a board. I don't remember. Anyway, maybe $1-ish a board. Anyway, they're great. They're awesome. You can paint over them a dozen times if you want, if you're not happy with it, and they're just good quality. And then they're great for framing too. And they fit in frames, unlike canvas boards, which you need like the really fancy, or unlike full-blown canvas, which you need the very fancy, you know, nice frames for. These will fit in regular frames, just like a picture. So, I like those. And then this is the exact paintbrush. This is all stuff we actually have in our house. These are the paintbrushes I got them. I don't know if you guys remember over Easter I got them all paintbrushes and we did the rock painting and the ornament painting. And decorated our neighbors and friends' trees. So those are the paintbrushes we use. We've been really happy with them. They're not super fancy, but they're not like the ones that kind of just stick out and fray everywhere. So they're good. I like them, and that's a whole set of, I think it's a set of 6 packets. So yeah, those are great. And then the last thing was did I not put the paint in? Shoot, I didn't put the paint. I'll put it in here. So the paint that there's 2 different paints. So this is the set that the kids have. It's not on Prime. It is on Amazon. It's not on Prime. Any kind of acrylic paint really will work though. So this is if you wanted the exact ones that my kids are using, it's these ones. They come in and out of stock on Prime. Right now it doesn't look like they're available on Prime. And then these are the ones that I have. And they both very similar, work just as well as the other. The ones the kids have are slightly bigger bottles, so yeah, you guys are really quiet today. So there's the other one. Yeah, so I find the painting has been really good for my kids. It's kind of like coloring. Hey, Andrea. Good morning, Miss Lisa. I find it's really good, and the Bob Ross stuff is really fun. My 13-year-old and my daughter too. My 8-year-old daughter is really enjoying the Bob Ross stuff. Have you gone through Michael's store for painting boards? We went last year spring break to help my daughter. Busy doing something. I haven't bought them at Michael's. I'm sure they have them there though. I can't imagine they wouldn't have them there. Beth says, I'm enjoying a huge thunderstorm here. It's noisy. Thanks, Lori. Yeah, so my oldest did, like I said, the Bob Ross. He just pulled up, YouTube's full of Bob Ross tutorials. And then my 10-year-old does not do well with that kind of tutorial. So I sat down and taught him how to color block. I actually, weird story, went originally to college for painting. And while it's not what I ended up pursuing, I did retain a few of my skills. So I taught him color blocking and how you pull out the basic shapes and then add layers and layers. And it's funny because he actually really didn't like, excuse me, #allergy season. He actually really didn't like his painting at first. Battery. I think it was because we did the color blocking technique, where it's basically 3 shapes, color them in, and then we add more shapes, color them in, and then you add layer on layer on layer, and eventually it looks like the painting you're going for. But all he kept seeing was the individual pieces, right? And I kept telling him, I'm like, you've been staring at your painting for too long. You have to take a break and not look at it for overnight, at least a day, at least several hours. And thank you, Andrea. He was just really upset. He's like, oh, I know everybody says it's good, but I just don't like it. It doesn't look like mountains and it doesn't look like a waterfall. It just looks like pieces of color on a paper. And it was funny. So I was like, I promise you're going to come back tomorrow and look at it. And he did. He came in. So I was explaining to him, I said, it's like when you write a word over and over again, or you're looking at the same word over and over again. It stops looking like a word, right? If you look at your painting over and over and over again, it's going to stop looking like the sum of its parts. Tracy says, pick one of your children a day and let them have a special day. That's a great idea. I love that, Tracy. We actually used to do something like that before. My mother-in-law's aunt was married to Bob Ross. That is a really cool story, Tracy. I love that. The gnat is back. We did something similar to that before the whole coronavirus thing. I would take one kid about once a week, out to like a lunch or, just, even if it's just a shopping date, like a grocery shopping date, they'd get some mom time. So that's a good idea. We should definitely go back to that. I like that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so this morning, he was funny, he came in while I was getting dressed. He's like, Mom, I really like my painting now. It actually does look like a waterfall. I was like, told you. So another trick that I learned, if you're going to paint and you want to see how it looks to other people, is, and I learned this when I was taking art classes in college, and we used to use 35mm film for this because digital didn't exist because I'm that old, but take a picture of your picture and look at that picture of your picture, and you'll be able to, I don't know why, like putting that space between you and the picture, not literal space, but like the, I don't know why it works, but it does. And it allows you to see flaws, and it allows you to see like what you're doing right a lot better. So yeah, thanks Val. I hope they continue to. I do. I think it's therapeutic. I really do. I think art in general is therapeutic. So whether it's just coloring book or painting, you know, canvas or rocks or really anything. I mean, even I think cooking is an art form, right? It's being creative and getting there, and it doesn't have to be original. Those paintings weren't original, right? But they still give you that satisfaction. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. Today's recipe of the day. Let's talk about our recipe of the day. We forgot to talk about our recipe of the day yesterday, but that's okay. Today's recipe of the day is, it's appropriate that my mom is on right now because it is hot chicken salad, and I chose it because I miss my mom. And my mom used to make this growing up, and I love it. It's one of my kids' favorites, and it's one of my husband's favorites as well. So hot chicken salad, which sounds really weird, but it's really just a chicken and rice casserole made with vermicelli and rice, and it's just delicious. It really is. It's just super delicious. And we always serve it with cranberry sauce, and I don't know why. Mom, maybe you can explain why we did that, but now I can't eat it without cranberry sauce. I mean, not like mixed together, just on the side. Yeah. Hi, Michael. How are you? Good morning. So happy Thursday, Miss Robin. Andrea, thank you. So yeah, I'd love if you tried that, the way that I pay my bills and keep my family afloat. Mom knew I was going to say hot chicken salad. Is by people visiting the website. So I'd love if you popped over there and took a look at that recipe. It's really special to me. It's not the best pictures. They're really old pictures. I need to reshoot it, and I kind of burned the cornflakes on it. It doesn't normally look like that. I'm only human. It's not my perfect. Anyway, so yeah, I'd love if you popped over and took a look at that recipe and maybe made it for your family, and let me know if it brings you guys as much joy as it brings me. And then also, if you want to support us, the other way to do that is to just buy our cookbook. We do have a cookbook. Robin misses her mom too. I think most of us miss our moms, right? I know I do. Anyway, I'm gonna cry, guys. Oh, my period's like 3 days late, so everything's setting me off. I know all the men that are watching right now are going, no, I'm out. Karen says I would forego the cranberry sauce. It's not a must. It's just something we always did as kids. Good morning, Miss Stephanie. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay. The other way you can support us is by, I agree, Mom. It just tastes so good. Is by buying our cookbook. We have, it's 150 pages. It teaches you my cooking system as a mom of 5. How I get dinner on the table every night without having to meal plan. And this is exactly how I cook, guys. I basically boiled down what I have learned about cooking for a big family over the last 10 years and put it into a system for you. So it's 150 plus pages. Oh, you're a sweetheart, Robin. Thank you. Val says, I make the hot chicken salad a lot. I also make the tuna salad. Yay! High five. Thank you. Anyway, so the cookbook is called Dinner Hero because it's going to make you the hero of your kitchen. It teaches you how to stock your pantry. It's got a full shopping list, teaches you how to prep your proteins, and then teaches you 75 plus recipes based on what you've done to prep. So hanging a picture frame with only glass on the wall, let them hang their paper pictures. Oh, that's a great idea too, Tracy. Thank you. Mom uses Special K. Oh, instead of cornflakes, yeah. So Mom's recipe is not exactly the same as mine, but it's very, very similar. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. What was I saying? If you wanted to grab the cookbook, that's the other way you can support us. If you don't buy it, you are not dead to me. You are still wonderful, and I still love you, and I don't expect anybody to do anything they don't want to do. But if you want to, it's there. You can do that. You guys, I'm going to pop off. I got a whole lot of work to do today. I think you are gorgeous. Make sure, if you haven't already, put your mental health number in the comments. 1 is poopy, 10 is rainbows and sunshine. I would say I'm still like right around a 6, between a 6 and a 7 or so. If you see someone that's below a 5, go ahead and do me a favor and just give them some love, reach out to them, reply to their comment, tell them we hope their day gets better and we're thinking about them and all those wonderful things. So I will catch you guys tomorrow.